Good morning. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital with a review of the daily trading report. For September 28th, 2016. Market just moved into bullish volatile conditions, overbought on a short-term basis. No signals in overreaction or channeling. 1 5-day down in utilities, a 551W in silver, a handful of auto framer candidates. You see trendiness is declining, and it's a toss-up between bulls and bears. Volatility is starting to increase, as you can see. Handful of dojis today, and only Goldman Sachs and 3M test out well on the auto framer. Here's our 551W and 5DD. Again, a handful of dojis, just a couple on the auto framer. We're stuck in the middle of this swing trading range right now, so not much to pick from as far as trending leaders. So this is one in which we want to keep our powder dry and our risk measured. No squeezes today. No auto framers. So again, we're stuck right in the middle of this choppy range, but you can see the increase in volatility compared to the previous 50 days have been abnormally narrow. So we're getting some volatility back in the market. We're still stuck up here near the top, waiting for resolution of the political situation. And that's all we want to cover for today. We'll take a look at some charts of interest now. Our main topic of discussion in the chat room today was this notion of chain trading, and that is that, well, when we start the day, it's kind of a toss-up which direction we're going to get, and so we use the hybrid frog as a way to start playing the directional breakouts early. And when that is successful, it leads to an unambiguous move. In this case, we were showing it as an unambiguous down move. And then it gets into this failure to fail further, and we start seeing the patterns of the owl or a pattern 1 failure occurring. So what happens after that sell-off and a little shelf and this regression line crossover, it either continues across the dragon and we get the conditions 3, 4, and 5 for an owl and we go long, or this pattern 1 doesn't follow through and it fails, and then we get the P1F. And so when we see a big move down, a failed owl or a P1F failure, we want to play this collapsing dragon as a follow-through, and then the size of this move down is the one that we expect on the next leg down. Now, if neither one of these directional moves occurs after the unambiguous move, then what we get is this choppy little sideways quiet channel. We're going to see a case where that happened today. So this is what we mean by chain trading, that we start with a series of initial trades, some directional moves that tell us that the symbol is in play, and then some directional responses to that. And then if they don't follow through, we expect that to just settle down, normalize, and become a sideways quiet channel, which we can trade later in the day. So let's take a look at some charts. So here's a chart from Bob using the Heiken Ashi. We have a gap up and a move out to Z3 and RLCO outside the river. The RL10 crosses the dragon. This is the owl entry here because you have unambiguous move up to Z3, RLCO outside the river, RL10 crosses the dragon has rolled over, the 30 has rolled over, so our dragon entry is approximately here. You get a nice run down. This is the unambiguous move. Now, it fails to fail further here, and so we start seeing the sideways support action, and now the 10 has crossed the dragon, the 30 has rolled up, the dragon has rolled up, and then this becomes an owl entry, and our initial targets would be the VWAP and the RL270, and then Z3 to get back to where it opened. Now, if this owl fails, the failure point would be on a horizontal line just below this RL10, so right about where the 30 is right now. So venturing long, that's not very much risk, and if it fails, then we would expect a move of this magnitude or even half that magnitude, and then that would be the P1 failure. But if this owl works, it gets up into here, and then it's a positive retracement, And then if neither one of those things manifested, just kind of sideways chops, then what we would see is a narrowing, a continuing narrowing of the Bollinger Bands, a narrowing of the river, and this would ultimately become a sideways quiet channel, which we would play with a pattern 5. Or if it continued to get extremely narrowly pinched like it did here at the close yesterday, then we would play breakouts as a Z3 pinch breakout. This is from Charles's daily trading plan. He's working on being more specific in his rule sets about the things that he's looking for. So this is part of his elevator speech for his daily trading plan, and continuing to be a work in progress. Here's one from Yolanda. She played a continuation pattern. This is a pocket, trading from here to here. This is after that RLCO, the unambiguous move. The P1 did not occur, so this is actually a P1 failure going in this direction. You could also see that as a pocket trade with a tight stop here, just about a Z1 stop. And then she plays a really nice 1, 2, 3 exit here. She plays the owl with a target of the VWAP or the RL270, and if it really were to work all the way back to yesterday's close, it has a lot of volatility, and it doesn't fail further, and so she elects to take that exit for a scratch. Here's some sideways quiet action. She's stalking some re-entries. She was away from keyboard, otherwise the natural entry would have been here, with the RL10 crossing the dragon to the downside. You have a high, a lower high, and then an RL10. We could see that as a dragon collapse, and this is looking like an owl very soon to be setting up. But really nice trade, very carefully measured, good effort. I like the profit preservation or the capital preservation exits there. For a final chart, here's a nice markup from Sonal. Here's the size of the frog box. This is a 0.7 frog box in either direction, attached to the open. She gets an entry here on a hybrid frog then. That's the unambiguous move. She plays the 1, 2, 3 exit, or the RL10 crossing the dragon here. Elects not to take the dragon short, which is fine. This narrows into a sideways quiet channel. She plays the Z3 pinch breakout here, and cashes after the next stack up. Plays this, doesn't collapse and come back to the RL270 or the Bollinger Band main, but takes off. She buys the next pocket. Has limited follow through and getting later in the day, and she cashes that. So 3 very well played trades through here, and you can see the size of the moves that we consider to be significant. That these are a move of from here up to this far is a non-noise move, and so we think that's a directional signal, and that's why we play this. So thanks for your kind attention. Keep your wrists measured and your powder dry.